Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video, and today we are playing with Flyers. Now we played a similar deck a few weeks ago around Spirits, and a lot of Spirits have Flying, but today we are purely Flyers, focused around a new 1-drop Momo friendly Flyer. It is a 1 mana 1/1 Lima Bat ally, and it has Flying. It says the first non-Lima creature spell with Flying we cast during each of our turns costs 1 less to cast. And then whenever another creature we control with Flying enters, Momo gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So obviously it decreases the cost of Flyers, well, the first Flyer, and then it gets buffed whenever we play Flyers. We don't have a huge amount of new cards. One of the new cards we do have is Nomad Legacy, a 2 mana enchantment for white and blue. And when it enters, we create a clue token, and creatures we control Flying get +1/+1. So obviously you can buff our entire board and helps us draw extra cards. And then we do have 1 copy of Wan Xing Tong, which you could easily remove, but it is a powerful card. 2 and an X for a bird spirit, 1/1 flyer with vigilance and flash. And when it enters, we put X +1/+1 counters on him, then draw half X cards rounded down. And whenever an opponent searches a library, put a +1/+1 counter on Wan Xing Tong and draw a card. So you can flash him in if your opponent searches a library. There's not many times in Standard where your opponent does search a library, mainly if they're cracking Fable Passage or Evolving Wilds or some of the other fetch lands, but that doesn't happen a huge amount. Obviously, a lot better in older formats where there are a lot more fetch lands, but still can be a nice surprise if you pay 2 for X and then you put 2+X1 counters on it, draw 1 card, and then your opponent searches the library, so you get another counter and another card draw. The rest of the deck is older stuff. We've got 2 copies of Spectral Sailor, which we can flash in, 1 mana 1/1 flyer, and we can pay for draw a card. 3 copies of Spyglass Siren, 1 mana 1/1 flying. When it enters, create a map token. 4 copies of Mockingbird, 1 and an X for a 1/1 flyer. We may have it enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield with mana value less than or equal to the amount of mana spent to cast this creature, except it is bird, in addition to its other types and has flying. Just be wary of this with Momo, because Momo does reduce the cost of flyer, and it might throw off what you're trying to copy if you actually spend less mana than you thought for X. Then Shelter by goes for removal. Malcolm, Alluring Scoundrel, we can also flash in 2 mana 2/1 flying. When it deals combat damage to a player, we put a Koros counter on it, then we draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 4 or more Koros counters on Malcolm, we may cast a discarded card without paying its mana cost. 4 copies of Mischievous Mystic, a 2 mana 2/1 flyer. Whenever we draw a second card each turn, we create a 1/1 fairy with flying, and then 4 copies of Aven Interrupter for a pseudo interaction, 3 mana 2/2 flash flying. When it enters, we exile target spell, it becomes plotted, and plotted means you can pay it. You can play it on a later turn for 0, but however, spells our opponent casts from exile, graveyard, or from exile cost 2 more to cast, so it will cause the plotted card to cost 2 more. And then Empyrean Eagle, 3 mana 2/3 flying. Other creatures we control with flying get +1/+1. So the nut draw is essentially turn 1 Momo, turn 2 Empyrean Eagle because it will cost 2 because of Momo. Momo will then be a 3/3 because of the +1/+1 from the Eagle, and then the +1/+1 from a flying creature entering, and we can smash in for 3 on turn 2, which is pretty good. Mana base, Abandoned Air Temple, we can buff our entire board with that activated ability, and then just 4 Flood Farm Verges, 2 Restless Anchorages, and 4 Multiversal Passages to help turn on the Verge. This is it's not a massively powerful deck, but it is quite fun to play. Obviously, a lot of small creatures do get blown out by Pinnacle Starcage, and your opponent can often outgrow the creatures, but we can go wide and then buff our entire board with Abandoned Air Temple and, I say, Empyrean Eagle and Air Nomad Legacy, so quite effective there. Hope you all enjoy. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe. I'll give a shout out to my patrons, Arcadius, Mihal, Thomas, and Adrian. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you everyone else for your support, and I'll see you all in my gameplay. Well, we go first. Not the fastest hand, but we can flash Malcolm in. Oh, good. Landfall, but we do have a lot of Shelter by Ghosts. Which we're going to need. I could block, but I don't see much point. Let us take out Bristly Bill. We'll play you on blue. Let's ditch a Spectral Sailor. There's Tifa. I am worried that they have protection. So let us... What we'll do, we'll get down a couple of Mischievous Mystics. Yeah, they definitely have protection. And that way, we can get a couple of blockers. And we carry on gaining life. Let's ditch another temple. No, let's ditch another Restless Anchorage. Question is, can they just kill us with Tifa? We are at 23. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. We have 3, 5, 7. We have 9. Yeah, I think this is lethal. Unless they can gain life at instant speed, which they cannot. Exactly. Oh, our opponent goes first. Only one creature, but we can Sheltered by Ghost it. Which we will definitely be doing. Oh, there's another Air Nomad Legacy. And we're back up to 20. There's a Bristly Bill. I'm going to run out an Air Nomad Legacy. Just because I imagine I want to Shelter by Ghosts a Hydra. I'd love another land so we can double spell. Yeah, there's the Hydra. And they have run out of lands. Momo, the biggest flyer there is. And again, another land, so we could Air Nomad Legacy and hold up Aven Interrupter. Or we just do 3 Air Nomad Legacies, 3 Sheltered by Ghosts. That's all you need, really. Ward 6. Yeah, they've stopped drawing lands. Yeah. Feel a bit sorry for them. Well, it's a lot of Sheltered by Ghosts. We can play the multiversal passage on blue, get out the Mystic. We can put that into play tapped. Because of the cost reduction for the Mystic. So are they Insidious Roots? No. I suppose we can just hold up the Interruptor. That will be for Caveron, but it only gives us an additional turn. And Momo's cost reduction doesn't take place in our opponent's turn. We'll play this on white. There's not much in the graveyard for them to get back, or a couple of Terror of the Peaks. That was all lands. That's quite impressive. They don't seem to have any red mana to cast Terror of the Peaks. Well, let's Sheltered by Ghosts. Take away their Overlord. This does increase the clock by a very small margin. Well, we can Sheltered by Ghost that as well. There's the Bringer. This has been a very, very slow hand. Slow game. But that actually might be enough. Because then we can even interrupt their Caveron. Wow, what? They're just being greedy, unless they already have another land. All the town greeters. Oh, there's another Mystic. They're down to 3. There's what the hell are they doing? They couldn't pay the Ward. Why? I just honestly don't understand why they didn't play Cavero out last turn. We go first. First time we've seen Wan Shitong, but we do only have one of them, so it's hardly surprising. Not fantastic in Standard because your opponent, you don't often search your library in Standard unless they have something like a Fable Passage, but Turn 2, we can Flash in Malcolm or Shelter by Ghost something if we need to. Flash in Malcolm it is. And we do have the lands for Aiming Interrupter and Huan Chin Tong. Survey Lessons. Should have figured that out from Myra's demonstration. We'll play out of planes. We'll ditch the multiversal passage for now. Let's hold up Aven Interruptor. Ooh, nothing. Do we? No, because that's rounded down. I know we're missing out on I know we're missing out on a draw, but let's plot your Accumulator Wisdom. I will pitch the Mystic. Play this on blue, and you can enter tapped. There's a Lion Turtle. Well, let's just Air Nomad. It can't block it, can it? No. Well, let's Air Nomad Legacy. And swing in. We'll pitch the Anchorage. No, let's pitch Wan Chin Tong. And we can draw with our clue. Two demolition fields. And land destruction. Do they think we don't have many? Well, they've turned on Accumulate Wisdom and their Lion Turtle, but we can remove the Lion Turtle. That was frustrating. That's Empyrean Eagle. I imagine they get their Lion Turtle back. But they are at 5. And I need to remove both of these. Because we do have a Restless Anchorage. Ah, there's their own Wan Chin Tong. But I don't think they have enough. Oh, we go first. We can turn on Momo, but we don't have another flying creature for now. But we do have a couple of 2-drops. Even though, yeah, our Momo's not going to survive. joy. Can flash the interrupter in. Potentially, well, not potentially, we definitely can. Let's see what they have. Fine, it's value. Let's get down an eagle. White, white, blue, blue. Put it on blue, doesn't really matter. Hitting for 4. There's a Scalding Trawler. We will play out a Legacy. I'm not particularly fussed about a Scalding Trawler at the moment. Because we are about to hit him for 9. And obviously we could Shelter by Ghosts away something and get lifelink. And we can flash in a Malcolm. But we have lethal and bald. And they need to be able to take out, well, technically both. I don't think one will do it because Malcolm will come down. And be big enough. And yeah, they realise that. Oh, opponent goes first. We have no blue mana, so this is an easy mulligan. Once our opponent decides what they're doing. Otherwise, this would have been a keepable hand. Oh, we'll play Multiversal Passage on blue. Get down a Siren. And next turn we can flash in one of our Malcolms. Get him for 1. Cryogen Relic. So this could just be artifacts. Well, let's get down a Mystic. That way, when we draw with Malcolm, we will create a 1-1. Let's pitch another land. And we can flash in the Sailor. Yeah, there's the Battlefront. How many perilous snares? Great. I would love a Shelter by Ghosts. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to win this one. Bloody Pinnacle Starcade. At least I haven't created another construct. We are down to 13. Swing in. We'll pitch a Momo. But obviously we're still trying to find... Yeah. Well, our opponent goes first. We don't have blue mana turn 1. Let's put back an island. There we go. That was being weird. Mockingbird turn 1. And Nomad Legacy turn 2. And we can Shelter by Ghosts away the Seam Rip or the Veteran Survivor. Because I imagine they have Shard Mage's Rescue. Oh, let's get down the Eagle and see what other removal they have. Do you have a Shelter by Ghosts? Wow, they are going hard. Well, they don't attack. So I think we do Shelter by Ghosts the Survivor while they are tapped out. Spring in. Let's play this on. Doesn't really matter. Blue, blue, white, white. Blue. And we'll flash in the Sailor. So they are just a modified deck, obviously. Okay. Next turn we obviously get down the other Eagle. And we can draw. Yeah, I missed time playing out the Sailor because that gave them time to Seam Rip. Oh, reach. Surely you put it on the area list. To give it flying, yeah. Oh, there's another land. Didn't want that. Let's draw and see if we can hit something interesting. Well, if they want to double block that, fine. Comes a legendary spider. Another aerialist. That, I'm not sure, was the correct thing. Why are you always... I don't think... No, we can't anyway, so... But it's still an odd thing to... that keeps on tapping the air temple. Why, yeah, why weren't they blocking? Why didn't they put the sorcerer roll on the aerialist to give it flying when the spider already had reach?